world, I sit back like, why bother? But get a different view every time that I call dollar. It's like Newly got the Uzi, man, she always spitting facts. She be dropping bombs, make all of them double back. Then the crime raises, it's something they never gonna get that. But it's cool, let's
Gotta be stoic, you can't be frail. If you get on the track, you can't derail. If you stick around long enough,
you will surely be unveiled.
What's poppin', what's did it? Welcome to another, lovely episode coming from the Unveiled Mindset podcast show hosted by me, Mohamed Conde, and my lovely wife, Numso, a.k.a.
No.
Numso.
Hey guys, welcome back, and welcome to the Unveiled Mindset, where we have purpose-filled conversations that help nurture growth and unveil the mind. Make sure you guys subscribe and turn on the notification bell below so that you're alerted as soon as we drop any episodes. Make sure you guys follow us on all social media platforms. Everything will be down below in the description box.
Comment.
Exactly. And let us know your thoughts. Be part of the conversation. Let's remain engaged. Exactly. So today we have a great guest that's joining us today, and he's a successful accountant in the banking industry. He's a former player of the Union Academy and once stood on the cusp of a professional soccer career until a pivotal injury altered his course. Undeterred, he transformed adversity into resilience, seamlessly transitioning into the corporate banking sector. Today, he channels the lessons from the pitch to excel in the world of finance, embodying the spirit of unwavering determination, like a true person from Cancun. You wouldn't know about that. These days, he spends most of his time with a literal photocopy of him. He's a new dad, right, Mo?
Yep.
And so welcome to the Unveiled Mindset.
Thank you.
This is Mohamed Conde from Cancun.
Yep.
Welcome. So we're super excited to have you here and talk about your journey, thus far in life. We know you grew up in Cancun, Guinea, and you were there for 13 years old when you had a major life change, like a lot of us here, and you moved to the U.S. So we definitely want to get into what that was like, and then also how you think that culture both here and there kind of impacted you, and then just overall, like, discussing with us and stuff like that. But welcome.
Yeah, welcome to the show. Welcome. So, we're very familiar with Mo, a good friend of the family and the show also.
Yeah.
Been very supportive. We've been supportive of him too. Also his lovely wife, Connie.
Shout out to Connie.
Yeah. Connie, Gee. Nah, but they got a little dance called Connie Gee. So me and Mo met, I would say maybe like 2 years ago, maybe. Close to 2 years?
Probably a little longer than that.
A little longer than that?
Yeah, definitely. We're in 2024.
2024.
Yeah.
So that was like 2021?
Because mind you, like, we actually met before Clubhouse.
Yeah.
Remember?
We actually talked on the phone.
talked on the
Yes.
phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah, before Clubhouse, yes.
Oh, okay.
So,
But even before, then that, even like by the time it was Clubhouse, like when you guys celebrated his birthday in Atlanta, that was like 2021, right?
Yeah, that was 2020, no, that was 2020, wasn't it? Like, Atlanta. So
No, that was 2021 because 2020 was.
Yes, that was
I think so.
2021.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was
Crazy.
So 2 years and some change.
Yeah, 2 years and some
Yeah.
change.
Going on 3.
prior to like meeting him on like the app or whatever, me and him talked on the phone a couple times.
Yeah.
But I didn't really know him like that, whatever. But we just, quick conversation.
Yeah, the app is when we got. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like.
So
Yeah.
on the app, when we got on the app, it was a whole bunch of like African people on there and stuff like that. But eventually, then once you get to gelling with people and talking with people and stuff like that, then you end up meeting your kind.
Mm-hmm.
We can all have like we all come from the same place, but your kind is people that you get along with, people that you have a lot in common with.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So Mo was one of those guys on the app, and then we end up becoming real close friends.
Yeah.
And we talk about a whole bunch of stuff like family, culture, everything.
experiences
back home and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So as time went on, we got close.
Yeah.
We even talk about deeper. We love talking about our mother, how much we love our moms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And all the sacrifices that they made. So that brought us closer. As time went on, our relationship got stronger and stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got married. A year before me.
Yeah, he got married, and then I caught the bouquet. Somebody else tried to take it from me.
Yeah.
But I caught it.
Yeah. Like it's crazy how like around you guys, like when you guys got married, we were watching our wedding video, and then Kenny was like, "Yo, Numso actually caught the bouquet at the wedding." I was like, "Yeah, like
yeah." So that was 2022, right?
2023.
Yeah.
2023. It was
December
22. December 22.
Yeah, 22. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember. So. And in 2023,
and you were the best man in his wedding.
Yeah, I definitely did my thing. I came in there and just destroyed everybody. I was really like, besides
that was a fact.
I was yeah. I did. You know what I'm saying? So the wedding was phenomenal. We went to the wedding. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It was tedious though. It was a long day. Yeah.
It was your first time being in a wedding party.
That was my first time. I was like, yo, this is worse than it was fun, but everything
it's
that comes
exhausting.
with it.
There's a lot.
Because they did everything on the
same day,
right?
Yeah, same
the traditional
and the hall.
Yeah. So
in
the morning we got there, and then from there, obviously, this. I went through the same thing. When it comes to men, we get dressed and ready way quicker than.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say their name. Yeah. You feel me? But
they know who they are.
Yeah. So,
now they know who they are.
But it was fun though. Like at one point, Mo was like, "Come on, man, cheer up." I said, "Bro, you don't." I was up all night doing homework and stuff like that, remember?
Yeah.
And I didn't even sleep. I went over there. I'm like, he's like, oh, get up. I'm like, donne-moi repos. Quand je monte sur le piste, when I get on the dance floor, yeah, you feel me? I was gonna do that, but so yeah, that was a great experience being a groomsman at his wedding, and I met some of his people and stuff like that, and that was great. And then from there, me and Mo been tight since, and then a year later, I got married to obviously, y'all know the queen. Applaudisson. Right?
Funny.
So after that, he was supposed to be a groomsman at my wedding, but unfortunately, things didn't pan out the way it was supposed to because.
But fortunately for him, and for all of us.
But not unfortunately. Let me clear that out. Because
the best day ever.
Yeah. We got, Little Mo.
Little Mo
was here.
Came the day of our wedding.
Yeah.
Yep.
So beautiful. He was like, oh, I don't know if I'll make it. Meanwhile, he had it on the day. Yeah, no, you weren't going to make it. Yeah. You guys were not going to make it.
So, he got a beautiful son.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Khalifa Conde.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, I'm going to wait till he turns 10. And I'm going to invite him in the ring for a boxing match because of him, Mo can come to my wedding. So, Khalifa, you owe me. Khali, I don't want no beef, but you got to let me have that one-on-one. Yeah, but, yeah, it was, it's been great so far.
Yeah.
He's
he
happy.
is so adorable. Oh, he is so happy. But
So,
we over here talking.
So, but yeah, I feel like Mo, but, enough said, but yeah, me and Mo been close. That's basically what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And he's a close friend of mine, and, yeah. So a great guy. So.
Yeah.
Thank you.
How does it feel to be a father?
Being a father is everything that I ever imagined.
That is amazing.
Since the day he came, it's like I haven't been able to get him out of my head. Like even when I'm sleeping, like there'll be time when I wake up and like look at pictures of him and just like think about him and stuff. But it's been great. It's been a great ride.
That's
He's
amazing.
been a great mother and everything.
So
that's amazing.
Because I remember we talked about this, right? Because we talk all the time. I was like, yo, Mo, you think you ready for this? He's like, yeah, I think I'm ready, But, the thing about it is like, you're just going through the motion, right?
Yeah.
So obviously you're married, you're trying to start a family. You obviously you want to have a son. You play soccer. I'm pretty sure you'll be happy if you also play soccer because then you guys can
bond and play together.
Sure. And so, because like I'm trying to, because we all going to go eventually if you planning on having kids and having a big family. I don't know if you're planning on having a big family, whatever the case may be. But, I was trying to, get some information like before, like, I get in that position too. I want to kind of be like ready or get all the information that I need. So I would ask more like, yo, like, how does it feel to be a father? And I was asking before even that, prior to him becoming a father, I asked him like, how is it, being with your wife, she was pregnant at the time. And so going to the hospitals and all of that, like mentally, what what kind of mind state were you in at that time?
You know the crazy thing is, right? Yeah. Like every day since Connie got pregnant, every day I would think like it would be the day that she would give birth. So I'm like, especially when we got closer, I'm like, I think we should go like camp out at the hospital. Like we should just go stay there. Cause like I wouldn't know how to, you know what I'm saying? Like water breaking something, like get stuff ready. Like like get to. I'm like, man, I think we should go. And then even the day like that Connie stomach started hurting, and like, cause I called my sister right away. My sister was like, if you go to the hospital right now, they will probably send you guys back. Like you stay for a little bit. And I'm like, no, I can't. Like I can't. We have to go. So when we actually go, and they actually had told her that she was dilating at the time, so we stayed. Yeah. But yeah, like the experience is like. I mean, like, it's your first time. I don't think you can ever be ready for anything that's at first. Yeah. But, everything was smooth. Like, the pregnancy, everything was smooth.
So,
that's good.
So, like, so on a scale of 1 to 10, like, how nervous were you, like, or afraid?
100. Bro, can't be explained. What?
And he's like, there's no number for it.
Yeah. Nah, that's crazy. So, during labor and stuff like that, obviously, like, us men, we're just praying for the best or whatever, So like after your son was like, delivered or whatever, what was that feeling like? What was that initial feeling? What was it like? Oh, he's here.
Bro, it's like a weight lifted off me.
Oh, like a breath of fresh air.
When I hold him the first time and I cried. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was
that's crazy.
That's amazing. Nah, that's beautiful.
That's so beautiful. And I know you and Connie, you guys are happy right now. You was on the phone with her last night, and he was showing the if Mo called him or whatever. If she called Mo be like, "Where's he at?" There's him right there. Like he's just moving his little arms around and stuff like that. That's very beautiful. I'm happy for you.
Appreciate it.
So since we got that out the way, let's get into
the discussion. All right, so let's take it back, okay? Let's take it back to Kankan. So for those of you for the people who don't even know where Kankan is, can you explain where that is? And which country, which continent, and just tell us like how long were you there? How long did you live for? I think you had mentioned 13 years, right? Yeah. Okay, so how was it when you lived there? Just growing up in Kankan in general.
The good.
How was that?
The good and the bad.
Yeah, so Kankan is the second capital of the people that think Kankan is a village, it's not a village. Not a village. It's actually the biggest land area city in Guinea. Oh, yeah. So it's the second capital of Guinea Conakry. You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
So basically, he's talking about him because he's always talking junk about Kankan.
It's definitely bigger than Cruza too. So
hey, I'm not saying
Cruza is a village.
I'm not gonna argue about the size of the land.
And another thing, for the Kabas, that thing, like, they, was the first settler in Kankan.
It was the Condes. Okay, understood. Moving forward. However, the Kabas made it what it is today. Right. Which is what you lived in today.
I mean, yes. Debatable. Yeah, yes. I mean, neighbors, bro, whatever.
Besides the gossiping, you guys didn't do nothing. Period. It's the Condes. Yeah. It's the Condes.
But, we family, so yeah.
Maybe.
So I spent like the early days of my my life over there from from when I was born to 13 years old. And but I used to like move around vacations. I would go to Conakry. That's why I kind of like speak so a little bit. So like I would go to Conakry. I would go to Ivory Coast, which my father like reside in Ivory Coast. And then I would go to Zerikre sometimes. But Kankan is where I knew like it was home for me. So but yeah, growing up in Kankan, it was different, like from a lot of people, especially you guys grew up in Conakry and stuff. And it just like for me, it's like I learned a lot of life lessons in Kankan. You know what I'm saying? Like particularly like being in Africa, it's like the family orientation and being like
the dynamic
one, like the unity,
and with elders, right?
Yeah, like learning like morals and values and respect, all those like from the early days, going to madrasa and stuff like that. All those was learned over there. So
for those who don't know what madrasa is, what is it?
It's like an Arabic school.
Like Islamic studies.
We all go through that. So as far as like today, where you at right now, right? What are your plans in terms of like going back to Kankan? Like,
going back?
You? Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely like me and you talk about this a lot. That's where I wanna like spend my probably like I would say like late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah.
Because I don't plan on like staying here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I talk to Dada a lot. Like I grew up in an area where there's agriculture was big.
Yeah.
So that's what I would like to do in the near future. Like cultivate like different type of crops and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's as of long term, like plan. That's what I would like to do.
Did you do that like when you were younger too? Like, did you spend a lot of time outside and or have family that were?
So my grandfather, like he had like spare lands next to us.
Yeah.
So every summertime, because in there's like 2 major like seasons, like
the raining and the
saison sec and saison whatever. Like, there was rainy season and
the summer.
Yeah.
So rainy season when you cultivate, and then like the dry season, then you will harvest the crops and stuff. So I used to like do like stuff like bananku, like potatoes.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, corns.
Oh, wow.
Like, like peanuts. So I used to.
I didn't know he did. Okay.
Like in the hands too, like with daba. I don't know how do you call daba in.
I don't know what they call it either.
Yeah.
I don't think they use it here. It's something. I think it's like handmade by like.
Handmade in Africa. Yeah.
It's like a it's like a big I say like a hard wood.
The name in French I think it's daba too. Like
daba?
Daba. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think it is. But
sure.
I don't think what it is in English.
So it's not even like okay,
like
I had a little vegetable garden. Like no, you were out there farming and like
it's not like
land.
A shovel. It's not like a shovel, but imagine a shovel.
Yeah.
But bent back.
Oh.
So they use it to like dig and like
to dig the.
Yeah, I remember. I would never forget. I remember one time like. There's one summer because everybody went on vacation. That summer I decided to stay, and me and my uncle like I did peanuts, and it's like came out like really really big. So like harvest it and sell it in the neighborhood to like ladies that sell stuff. But those are the stuff like I always have my hands in like different stuff like in growing up. So it was always.
When it was okay, so when it was time to come here, were you excited? Did you know that you were coming here to stay? Was it a surprise? How was that?
I knew because my mom was very transparent with us.
Okay.
I was a little grown at the time, but like to say excited, I feel like I was a little younger to understand what America is. You know what I'm saying? So like I was like my change. I'm gonna be with my brothers and sisters. I hadn't seen my sister in a long time, so like I was like So I was more excited to see my mom and my sister because my mom came first, and then my sister came. And a couple of years later, we came. Me and my three brothers.
Okay. I got a question for you, right?
Yeah.
Because like this is like a general understanding for like most like Guinean or maybe African kids, right?
Yeah.
So when you like were in Kankan, right?
Yeah.
Did you was it a dream for you to come to the state, or were you one of those kids that like I have no knowledge of it, or I just don't care?
I mean, like we watch TV. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, we watch TVs. Like I used to like, cause I love music, so I used to like look at American raps. We don't know what they're saying, but we kind of like say words as they go. Like I remember, like I used to like pay attention to like 50 and Eminem. Like they so I'm like, man, it's kind of nice. I always wanted to go somewhere. Yeah. Maybe for me, cause I play soccer. Like I would say like Europe, France, and stuff. Okay. But I never would have imagined that I would come to America, and I didn't really know that much about like outside of the music. Yeah. And Welcome to America. Everybody seeing that movie.
Coming to America.
Yeah, Coming to America. Outside of those, I didn't know anything else about the country.
So would you say, okay, because I know you mentioned United States and Europe, right?
Yeah.
If you had a chance to go back, right, between the U.S. and Europe or whatever, U.S. or France or whatever, because you said that's what it is, would you like take a different turn? Would you?
That's a good question.
No.
Yeah.
If I had a chance to go
he wouldn't have met Kenny.
But wait.
There's a lot of things, because it's like, okay, for example, like if I had a chance to go back, if I had to go in Europe, maybe I would have played pro, right? Yeah. But then all this wouldn't have been.
Yeah.
Okay, so would you say that, because sometimes people's answers change based on the position that they're in, like currently, right?
Yeah.
Okay, like, because right now you know what it is, you know, you got your family, whatever, and you're happy, right? Super happy. So like, because now that you already know that, without knowing that, right? Let's say today, you didn't have that, right? Hypothetically speaking, Kenny, don't kill me, right? You didn't have that, right? Would that answer change, or will it remain the same?
Yeah, for sure.
It will remain the same.
Without knowing like what my outcome have become, I would definitely pick Europe.
Okay.
Yeah.
That make more sense.
Yeah. So even knowing it, if you take Kanye out, I think I'd probably pick Europe too.
Europe.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Connie still believe that no matter if Mo went to Australia, they would have still,
We
somehow.
would've
They
still
probably
somehow
would have.
Yeah,
They probably
never
would
know.
have.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Okay, so how was your, and I want to, like, it's so fascinating, like, because even here, right, like, I grew up here and stuff like that, and even though, like, you may have, like, your parents and, like, some elder people to kind of, like, really help guide you, but I've never had that experience of, like, late at night, all the kids are all together, you have some sort of like elder figure that comes in, like whenever you guys talk about these like riddles and things like that, like I've never sat there to listen about like these real wise, like intense deep like stories from the elders, and like and it just I've seen it on TV and I've seen you guys talk about it, and a lot of the ones that you guys even still remember till this day are stories. It's interesting. It's like metaphorical stories, like stories that are about simple things that children can understand, but it's so deep in its knowledge, and then like they have to kind of like understand where it comes from. And it's almost like, sitting outside and like I was on the computer, Barbie.com, MySpace, MySpace and things like that,
stuff.
right? My Little Pony, like things like that. Whereas like you guys were out, shut up. Yeah. You guys were like outside, gaining wisdom from people that probably grew up with people that were born in the late 1800s, right? Because our grandparents, our parents are super, super old. So like our grandparents are already born in early 1900s.
Yeah.
So I always found that like super fascinating. Was that more in Kankan than Conakry or both?
Let me get into his background and then kind of like touch on that.
Yeah.
Because that's a good question. Right?
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna tell you like we're gonna break it down and then you guys can understand it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so how was like your background, like upbringing in Kankan? Like how was it as a child? Because at one point your mom ended up leaving, right? And then so you stayed with your auntie and stuff like that. How was it for you? Was that difficult for you? Was it like, did you miss your mom? Or because sometimes like your mom will go away, right? Because it's so community based that sometimes you don't even think about your mom because you're having so much fun, you're outside and all of that.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
So my mom had six, like 5, 6 of there's 6 of them, right?
Yeah.
So like I didn't really like grow up around my mom like that because my mom was a merchant. So like she would go to Ivory Coast and stay for a couple of months and then, get stuff there and come back to Guinea, sell it there. So she was always like on the move, like even before even before she came to the US. So like I didn't actually start calling my mom until I got a little older. So I used to think her younger sister is my mom, you know what I'm saying? So like I grew up with her, and then when my dad passed, like we moved around a lot. Yeah. So that like mother son, like relationship wasn't there, it wasn't there. So I really didn't feel it like that. Even when she came to America, when I started getting older, that's when I started like missing her a lot. But growing up, it's like, so like family is really big. My grandfather had like a really big family. So my grandfather is who, like, that's why I named my son after him. He's the one that raised me. He's the one that taught me all these morals and values in life. And like he was a very knowledgeable man. So I learned a lot from him. So
that's amazing.
Nah, that's great. And then also like I know that's something me and you got in common. Like we both lost our father, right? Yeah. May they both rest in peace. Yeah, man. So like how was that for you? Because I think your father passed when you were younger at the time,
I was young,
right?
Yeah, I was
right?
young.
Mine, I was a little older, so it's kind of different for me. So like how was that for you?
So for me it was different because me and Connie have this conversation all the time. Because like if my father hadn't passed away that early, I probably wouldn't even like grow up in Guinea. Like probably would have been in Ivory Coast, you know what I'm saying? So like, I probably wouldn't end up here in America. You know what I'm saying? So like, him passing away really didn't have that much effect on me when I was younger. Is when I got older. Because he passed when I was like 4 or 5 years old, so I didn't really. It's like as a kid, like certain memory are vivid, but certain also are very clear.
Yeah.
So this time when like I remember him picking me up, you know what I'm saying, and this time like if I see his picture, then I know I've seen that face around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like it didn't. When I got older, that's when it really started affecting me a little bit more.
Yeah.
That must have been difficult because that time, right? Like you 5.
Yeah, 5, 4, yeah.
So 4, okay. So mine, I was like, maybe 20, 24 or whatever. So even like those, mine wasn't like very young, but I still feel like I miss a lot, right?
Right.
So imagine being younger at 5, and now you're, let's say, 25, 30. That's a big gap, right? So all that time that you didn't have with your dad, like playing soccer or doing this or taking you to school and stuff like that, when you think about all of that, it can be traumatic, you know. It can bring a lot of, like, you know, stress and stuff like that. And I understand that because my gap wasn't as large as yours, right? So to me, like, you know, for like every kid, especially like the sons, like they need their father around, right?
Facts,
you know,
facts.
unfortunately, you know, things happen, and but you still turn out to be great just because you also have a great mother, right? You know, that do a lot.
And her
you know?
team, right? And her sisters and everyone else, who, like a village.
No, that's a fact. Yeah, that's a fact.
So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that. Yeah. So you have anything to add? I'm sorry.
No, just I want to know, like, the you know, it actually makes sense. You said you grew up with your grandfather, so it made sense where you had a lot of that experience of like the wisdom, and then, you know, everyone kind of talking together. But was that something that was specific to Kankan, or just in general?
Like growing up,
like the experience that I mentioned before, like the stories, you know, everyone getting together.
Yeah, for me that was generally in Kankan. Like in Conakry, it's like, I don't know. Every time I used to go to vacation in Conakry, it's like crowded. Like, it's
fast paced.
I never
more city.
But Kankan is like you see yourself grow up. It's like slow pace. Like you literally, it's like sequence. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
like,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. Okay. So you mentioned, you asked him about like what was the difference between Conakry and like Kankan, like how was the difference between the two cities?
Only, I mean, in the question that he just answered. So in that way.
Okay.
Because he said it was like more fast paced and stuff like that.
In Kankan.
In
Conakry.
Yeah.
And then so did you also like mention him also going from Kankan to Conakry, and what was your experience
on vacation?
Yeah.
Kankan, you lived in Conakry too?
Yeah, I lived there a little bit. Kankan from Conakry, it was similar, like from like Guinea to here.
Yeah.
It's like Conakry is like,
oh wow.
You gotta no, I'm saying that like in terms of like the space, like you know, people being inside a lot versus being outside. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like we go play on a goudron. Like Kankan, we never, like, we don't, you know, we have places.
Really?
Yeah, in Conakry we go play on a goudron.
No, I'm saying Kankan, y'all don't play on goudron.
No, like Kankan we play on ball. Like,
so goudron basically mean like the
you play on what?
Concrete, like concrete.
Oh,
in Conakry we play soccer on a concrete. Like,
wait, what about Kankan? Where do you play?
Kankan is like, we have like, there's so much space that we have like fields, and we also have like,
on grass.
Yeah, we make like we will make our own fields, like, cause there's a lot of space. We go find like, and like, cause where I'm from, like, in my neighborhood in Kankan was like one of the newest like energies, like one of the newest neighborhood.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of other spots. People were still building where we were growing up.
Yeah.
So we have like a lot of space where we go play. Where in Conakry, like, we go play on the concrete. When the car is coming, you take your ball, you wait till the car pass by, and y'all start playing again.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Like, cause even Conakry, like, you know, they'll play anywhere. Like they'll literally like grab 4 rocks to make the goal, the goal post or whatever, and then like it'll be in the middle of the street where the cars goes and stuff like that. Not the highway, but like those roads that's like in the neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
But they also have like other places where you can go play, like other
Yeah.
soccer fields and other areas that's not like the street or whatever. But a lot of times they be like they're occupied and
There
stuff
be a
like
lot
that,
of people,
right?
yeah.
Oh.
So I didn't even know that. Okay.
Yeah.
So as far as like your trip to Conakry, how long did you stay there?
So in the beginning, like, I used to go like every vacations. I would stay there for like the 3-month vacation and go back to school in Kankan. And then when our papers like situation started like happening, so I went to Conakry. I stayed there for 2 years, like a year and a half, 2 years before we came here, because we were doing a lot of va-et-vient. So my brother decided this time, y'all just stay here until our paper situations are, so we can, you know, leave. So that's the longest I stay in Conakry. Those, you know.
So how was between Conakry and Kankan, which one did you like enjoy the most?
Bro, I hated Conakry.
Really?
I hated it.
Yeah, I could tell from his response.
I hated Conakry with a passion, bro. Like, you share a room with hella people. Like, I hated that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he said in Kankan he had the
Kankan, my
space
grandfather
for
had, like,
days.
you know what I'm saying? Everybody had their own space. Even if it like it'd be like me and one of my cousins, and then my brothers would be in the annexes.
And the farming and stuff.
Yeah,
and
it's like just like being around, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Conakry was just, I didn't like it at all, bro.
But the opportunity, all the opportunities basically isn't. Like, it's like New York.
No, but I'm not gonna lie, Cancan though, like I used to like make my own, like, you know what I'm saying? Cancan, like I had my own hustles and stuff like that. We go get medals, like PC, like we, sell those, or like fish. You know what I'm saying? Because Cancan,
but you also hustled in Guinea too. I mean, Conakry too, right?
Yeah, but Conakry is kind of harder. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta have like, like a canoe and stuff like that. The little canoe. But Cancan is like, we can make our own fish rods, like, and we go fishing and stuff like that. We have a really good big body of water, Milo Rivera way. You know what I'm saying?
So more basically saying Cancan is like the Ozarks.
Nah. Okay, so can you describe like, how's your transition then to America, right? Okay, so when you first moved to the U.S., did you come to New York or was it directly to Philly?
It was New York for a little bit, like a couple of days, a week. And because we were staying on my auntie, and then we went to Philly directly. Yeah.
Okay, so how was that transition? Now you're here in America. You need to learn how to speak English. Did you go to ESL? Because he claims he didn't.
Yeah, definitely. I was a king. I was a king of ESL for 2 years for sure.
Like he went to. I didn't go to ESL.
Because I'm from I'm from Cancan. I don't speak English. You from Conakry, so you know what I'm saying.
I didn't speak no English. all I knew was Adi Body fine. But I took ESL. I'm not gonna lie to you. Look, ESL was so fun. I remember my teacher, Miss Sermon. She spoke like 3 languages, like English, French, and Spanish. She was so nice, like super nice. Like when I first came, like she was like I felt like I knew her. She was so nice, right? Mm-hmm. She used to bring us food, cookies, cakes and stuff like that, right?
That's nice of her.
And then I wanted to stay in that class so bad. I didn't want to go because in Africa you got one teacher, right? Mm-hmm. That teach all like 5 subjects or 6 or whatever. Yeah. Over here, you got first hour, second hour. There, you always meet new faces, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're like, all right, because in Africa, you still would.
But that's like the elementary and like middle school in Africa. Then when you go to like,
high school. I stopped in the 6th grade.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you still be with the same.
Yeah, the same teacher for sure. Yeah.
Oh, the
time we did that, we stayed with the same. Yeah, the same class. You have like the
exactly. So like, I didn't want to leave her class, bro. And then she was like, you got to test out of ESL or whatever. So I said, okay. She's like, okay, you got to do this. So on my Scantron, I didn't even look at the test. You know what I did on my Scantron? I started making like shapes on the Scantron. I was doing zigzag. I finished my test in like 10 minutes. You can ask French Mandarin. Like, he would tell you. Like, for 2 years, I had the same score on the same test. The same exact score. I did the same thing.
Oh, my God.
Bro, I had the same, I hated going to the other class with the other kids. The reason why, because I didn't speak English. So, in that class, I'm just sitting there. I will never forget how it started, bro. One time, right? Yeah. So, we were doing, like, a class work with the, this was in, like, 7th, 8th grade. We were doing, like, a class work. And then, I needed help on my paper. So, I don't know how to politely tell the teacher to come help me. So, I was like, you, come here. Yeah, I swear to God, bro. She was like, I'll never forget her name, Miss Williams. It's like English teacher. Yeah. She was like, oh. And then everybody in the class started dying, bro. And then funny. She came over, bro. And then that's another time, bro.
Yeah, come here is crazy.
Bro, that's another time, right? So we had like a middle school dance. Yeah. They give us a paper, like $20. And then on the paper, it's written on the paper, you can't wear a polo or you can't wear jeans. Yeah. But I show up with the brand new jean from Formal Mail and a polo. Bro, she saw me, bro. She was like, oh, my God, Mohamed.
And that's your first year?
Yeah, it's my first. I'm like, I don't know. Nobody in the house know how to read the paper. So she was like, Mohamed, she said, look, it's written right here. You can't wear these. Bro, they didn't let me in, bro. What? I already paid my $20. Bro, I have to go home. I have to get on the bus and go back home, bro.
That's crazy.
Swear to God.
I got a little story, too, but that's crazy.
See, come here.
You come here is crazy. I'm going to turn into Scorpion real quick. Get over here.
She said, ooh.
A little aggressive.
Mine was did you ever get suspended?
Yeah, I did. I got in a fight in 8th grade. This kid, Marlon, bro, he always used to pick on me.
Oh, he used to bully you?
Bro. Yeah, I got suspended. I couldn't even go to the middle school graduation because I was suspended.
My first year, I got suspended. The first semester, I got suspended 7 times. Damn. I remember my sister, Moya, she came over and then whooped me. Man, my sister, if you watching this, bro, Moya she's the nicest person. You met her.
Yeah.
She's so nice and calm, bro. Moya used to whoop us. So I got suspended. I kept getting suspended, bro. Moya came home. She whooped me. She whooped me so bad. And, I calmed down for a little bit. And I got suspended again. At the time she was working, going to school and all that. She called me. Because she bought me a PS2 at the time, right? And I was playing all the time. I was so, thank you for that, though. But, like, she's like, I got suspended. They called her. She's like, if I come over there, I heard you got suspended again. If I come over there, I'm going to do this and do that to you. I'm like, ooh, I got so scared. She was like, and the PS2 I bought you, I'm going to take it and smash it over your head. Man, but you know what I did? I unplugged the PS because she said she was supposed to come that day. So I unplugged the PS2 and then I put it under the bed. I'm like, yo, I smashed that on my head, bro. But I got suspended 7 times.
Well, for fights?
The first time I got suspended was Miss Bryan, my math teacher. I kept cussing her out in Mangakang. Right? So, like, in the middle of class, my math teacher, I would raise my hand. She's like, yes. Then I would cuss her Mangakang.
Bro, you a badass kid.
What about the other times? Where is it
I
like?
got suspended this.
Wait, so how she know? Somebody told her that.
No, I kept
disrupting.
Class, right? Yeah.
Oh, disruptive.
Right. Whatever. And she was like, she called when the principal. He's like, I don't know what he's saying, but I think he's saying bad words.
Yeah.
And at that time, I understood what she was saying.
Yeah.
They asked me like, what's going on? I was like. Like you know it's that when you take advantage of it. Like I knew what I was doing, right?
Yeah.
That's the first time I got suspended. The second time I got suspended, I fought with a kid, and I'm not gonna mention his name, but he looked Asian or whatever. We got into. I don't know why we got into it. That was actually my first dub. Yeah, that's the first dub I took. So I whooped him, and he started crying. And then I got suspended already, and my sister whooped me. So when he started crying, bro, I talked to cabinet brother. I was like, please. Talk to him, tell him in English, like, I'm sorry. Like, tell him that, I didn't, whatever. But he was fighting, like, it's not like I punked him. We got into it. He pushed me and we started fighting. I whooped him and he cried. And I'm like, I don't want to get suspended, bro. They're telling me they're going, my mom going to send me back, blah, blah, blah. And then I told him, I begged him, like, please. This man walking in the hallway just crying loud. Like, I'm like, look. So he cried loud. Cabinet brother, I was like, yo, chill.
And he pushed you first?
Yeah, and then at the end of the day, when you
because you're already on a strike, like you can't mess up. Yeah.
So, and I'm like, he crying. I started talking to him, and I'm like, he probably not saying the right thing. He walking the hallway, crowds like, I'm holding my head. I'm like, and I go to, I was like, yo. So I'm telling him, forgive me. I don't know what I say. He keep crying, walking past the principal come like, what's going on? But when I see the principal, I was like, man.
Did he point?
Like, he's like, what's going on?
Your sister beat you again?
Huh?
Your sister beat you again?
No, she didn't beat me. Because this time they didn't find out. So, like, the principal came out and whatever, and like, yo, what's going on? He's talking about. I'm like, yo, I said, boy, this about to give me trouble. He's talking about. He punched me. I'm like, what? Like, I was
and you couldn't speak English to say that like, he pushed me first.
Yeah, so like,
you gotta, that's
what he explained to him. He was like, oh, he pushed him first. Woo woo. He said it doesn't matter if he pushes you, come tell us.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, they always say that.
But what I did, they called, nobody was home, and when they called, the phone went to voicemail. Everybody's at home.
You deleted voicemail?
Nobody was home. No, I didn't delete it, right? Because they don't really check it. It's a lot of
right. They be mad voicemail now.
So they left a voicemail. Boom, boom. My auntie and my uncle, they were both at work. I came back, and then the next morning I got up. I took my backpack. I went to Eastern Michigan, the university that was like close by the crib. There was a stadium over there. I went over there for the whole day. I was under the bleachers sleeping. I would come out and play basketball. I was stealing some food over there from the concession stands.
And then when the school out, you go home?
Yeah, after school, I go back home. I did it for 2 days. But
Lord.
Yep.
Yeah, I only got in a fight one time. Bro, so like he got in a fight the previous day, right, with some kid, and then like his hands was like swollen, or whatever. So he came the next day with a cast on his hand. So that some girl like brought it up. They were talking about it because middle school like we sit like face each other. Like they would pull like 4 benches like face each other like this in Philly. I don't know if they do in Michigan.
Yeah.
So we sit in the girl talking about it, and then everybody started laughing. You know how like they would say that like somebody that pick on people, they all pick on people that they think they can. You know what I'm saying? They gonna pick on whatever. So everybody laughing and I laugh. So then like I'm faced like I'm like saying like this. I'm faced this way. It was a science teacher, but I forgot her name. It's like a white woman. So then he gets up and I think he's about to go sharpen his pencil or whatever.
Yeah.
His nigga walked behind me and hit me with a cast.
What?
Bro, Keban Kamuli, bro. Bro, I was kicking it. This like, you can't kick in the fight. I said, I'm from Africa. What are you talking about?
So I play soccer.
I was kicking them, hitting
because you laugh. So out of everyone who's laughing, he's like,
he picked on me. Like, I'm gonna pick on this African kid.
I could take him.
Bro, I beat it. Oh my God. After that, everybody respected me in the school. Nobody picked on me.
That's crazy. But so then were you able to like get used to everyone, make friends easily? Like how was like, or traveling and stuff like that? How was your experience?
Like the first like 3 months was horrible, but when soccer season started, I started making friends like right away.
Did you know that you wanted to join the, or did somebody tell you?
I didn't know. So okay, let me tell you that story. So when we went, so if you have an ESL, you have a different type of like school schedule than everybody else. So the first day, me and my sister took me. We went to the office, show them, or like I just came, like I'm supposed to be in ESL class and stuff like that. So we was in the office, and a white woman walked in, where she became really, really, like a really important person in my life. So she came in, and it was like, oh, this kid just came from Africa, and then she looked at me like she was like, oh, if you want to play soccer, come find me. I mean, I don't even know. You know what I used to do in school? Like after we leave first period, I would remember people in my class. I would follow them because I didn't know, like, what class I'm going to.
Yeah.
Kind of like stalker.
Yeah. So,
no, not a stalker.
So I'll follow them, and then my ESA teacher used to come get me out of the class, whatever class I'm in. If she need me, she would come get me from there. Yeah. So that's what I did for the first week, and then like we went to gym class that same afternoon. And then the white woman, she came up to me talking to me. I don't know nothing. So sometimes she would write stuff like on the paper. I didn't have a phone. She would write it when I go home. I show it to my cousin because my cousin was here. And then my cousin would also write certain stuff. I give it to her when I go back to school.
Oh, wow.
So, you know what I'm saying? So when I started playing like with her, and then after the season, she saw in my face that I want to play soccer so bad. Aww. So then, I mean, we can get into that later on.
Yeah, so I want to, I definitely want to transition into the soccer. Like, how did you get into soccer? Because I know you used to play soccer in Guinea, but how did you get into soccer here once you moved to the U.S.? So that discussion.
Right. So, like, so the first story, that was it. And then, so, like, after the soccer season over in school, like, there's club soccer, right? I don't know nobody here. Yeah. So then, every day when we go to gym class, I'll go get a soccer ball, juggle, and stuff like that. And then she came out to me, she was like, if you want to play soccer, like, she actually wrote it down because it's like, in America, you can't just, take people's kids. So she writes stuff down. Like, if your mom can sign this paperwork, I can sign you up for a team. Me, like, I was telling this to Dauda the other day. Like, I didn't know in America that you pay to play soccer until, like, I went to college. So then, like, so she wrote a letter. So, like, so she later become a legal guardian where she can sign paper on behalf of my mother, like, for me and stuff like that. So when she wrote that first letter and then give it to my mom, so my mom signed it, and I give it to her, and which she can keep for record in case anything. So then she signed me up for this team named Parkwood, like around her neighborhood. And I started playing there, and it was time now to go to high school. She was asking me what high school you want to go to. I don't know anything. Around that time, I started like understanding English a little bit after the middle school year. So then she was like, there's a high school, like a public school in Philly, Washington High. So her husband went there. The lady husband went there, and the coach at the time played there with her husband. They both played soccer at the high school. So coach named Chris Reed. So she was like, you could try to go to that school. So send my grades and stuff to that high school coach, and then I was accepted to that school. So I went to that school the first year. After that first year, that's when my name started going around the city, because that year we won the championship, and I had a really, really good year. And then, so I spent like my freshman year there. So then, and I was playing with the other team, Parkwood, which was it was like a neighborhood team. Yeah. Yeah. So then it was time for me to move up a little bit. And then, so like through that lady, I met some of the like most important people to this day, like, in my life. So she introduced me to a guy named Rob Colasanto, which he had a team at that time that his son was the same age as me. His son was a player on the team. So I went to that team. That team was a little bit around my, my level. So play on that team, which is a travel team. We should go to like Disney, go to like places like in America, which, I enjoy a lot of time there. So then that same year after my freshman year, there was other better school came calling. So I went to a Catholic school inside of the city called Father Judge. And I played there a year. And then, so one day they had like the Philadelphia Union Academy, the way I went there. So one day they had like a drive in the neighborhood. They will come and look at like different talent. Like, we play a little mini game and coaches will come. So then they invited our team to go to that. They will actually bring a couple of professional players at that time and come watch. And then, I was playing in that. And then I was able to get selected from that to go to the academy. So the camp to the academy is far from and then no train, like it'd be like a bus. It would take like 2 hours to get there.
Oh wow, okay.
So then the first couple of like month I was taking the bus and it was tiring. Like I would get there like late. So then the next year we started our school. Like we actually started our own school at that academy.
Okay.
Right? So then they had a residency house. We stay with each other. So we, they have like drivers that can drive us to school. We would come in the morning. It was just like an academy, just like, like Europeans Academy. It was just like that. So we would come in the morning, we would train, and then we go to class. And then after.
And this is still high school years, right?
This is still high school. So
okay.
This is from like sophomore, junior, and senior year.
Okay.
Yeah. So then, that's when I started playing. So, but, and then time came, like college or whatever. So, I decided. And
you went to the South. You decided to go away for school.
Yeah, I decided to go away. Because I hate the cold. Like, I remember during the winter time, I hated playing in the cold so much.
Yeah.
So, like, I decided I went to Alabama for a year. And then that's when, so during the summertime, like, during the college year, I would come home and play semi-pro. So then met some friends through that, and one of my good friends, he's actually playing pro right now. He was playing in Miami at that time, FIU. So he was like, yo, like, I'm gonna talk to my coach, like, you can come play with us, whatever. You can transfer to my school, because the school I was going to at that time was NAIA, like, which is like a lower division, and he was playing the Division 1. So then he talks to his coach. His coach actually said, yeah, I know Mo. Like, I used to watch him when he was in the academy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so then he put me in the contact and then sent my informations, and I got accepted to the school. That's when I went to Miami.
Okay.
And I enjoyed my time over there.
Yeah.
So that was when I first, got into like
that's
soccer.
amazing.
Yeah. That's a good story.
Yeah.
Like I know, like for African kids, soccer is like always like, it's the number one sports. Like it's in Guinea, like in most majority of
and some would argue in the world.
Yeah. So like, as far as like playing soccer here, like what did that do for you mentally?
Like I would say like, I mean I was very disciplined, but like to enhance my discipline, it was through soccer. Like being on time, like respecting like opponents, respecting
Teamwork.
coaches, teamwork. Unity. Like I learned a lot of discipline in America, because in Africa it's not really organized. You know what I'm saying? Like we come in the neighborhood, like we play, but you come here, you need paperwork first, like you have your license, stuff like that. So it's like it's so organized. Like y'all have jersey in Africa, bro. We go make our own jersey. We take t-shirt and go put a name on in the back and numbers and stuff. But here it's like it's like you integrate into like the sport.
The sport.
So okay, so now you're what 30 now?
Yeah,
okay.
29.
Yeah. Okay, so you left Guinea, you were 13.
Yeah.
Okay, so like now that you just mentioned how you started playing soccer, and also Numsa asked you like the transition from Kankan to to the state, right? So from the age that you left Guinea, do you remember anything that was symbolic to you
in Guinea?
Yeah, in Guinea before coming to the state. Do you remember, like, I know you were 13, but do you remember anything that was like, that stood out to you, that stuck with you, whether it's good or bad? Like
a turning point?
Not necessarily a turning point, but like
impactful, very impactful.
Yeah, something that stuck out to you, whether it's good or bad. He's like, okay, I'm going to remember this.
Yeah.
And then whether it's motivational, whether it brought you down, but what was like that thing in Guinea before you came over here? You looked at that story or situation like this, incident, or whatever it is, crippled me or it motivated me.
I think the passing of my grandfather, because he's like was a father figure to me. So you know what I'm saying. Like I always used to envision myself like he wanted to put, even when I was in Guinea, like he wanted to put me in the academy. He wanted to send me to Senegal, because they are like Lansana Jara Academy was there. Like the guy he used to play. So it's like I always like for me like. Even when I didn't make it pro, I used to feel like a failure, because I feel like there was a lot of people that would have been proud of me, that I wanted to make them proud. Even these white folks that was like taking me in like they own, you know what I'm saying? So like I always used to say in visions like one day I'm gonna like make it, and my grandfather gonna see me play. Yeah. And that's gonna be like the most like proud moment of me, like seeing him like watching me play. So I feel like that was one of the things, like, his passing like that, they a lot to me. Like,
when was that? Was that when you were an adult that he passed?
Yeah, this one, like, he passed a year before we came.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
And then, like, so I was like, when I have a son, I always had in my mind, when I had a son, I would name him after him.
Okay. So now that you're here now, so today, what's that, going back to the same question.
Yeah.
What's symbolic to you as, like, today? What is one thing that you look forward to, that you see as, like, this is me, and this is me for the rest of my life?
We all know the answer to that.
I would say like it's two things. Like, I would say meeting Conde,
of course,
and my son. Okay. So, like, I'm not gonna lie, you been there. Like, meeting Conde was the time where like it was around the time where I almost gave up. You know what I'm saying? So, like, came from college like around like before pandemic, so I wanted to play. I had an opportunity to, and
let's talk about that moment.
So I had an opportunity to, like, try out with two different, like, professional teams. Like, the one, because my idea always was, like, after school I'm gonna come home, because I was in the academy, and then at that time they had a second team. So I'm gonna come home, like, I'm talking to my academy director all the time, like, just give me an opportunity. I'm gonna come home and play for that second team and find my way to the biggest stage, right? So I came. And, like, like, it was like, yeah, like, you can come for preseason with the team and see if they pick you or whatnot.
Or not, yeah.
So I come, like, I'm doing good. Like, I'm doing really good. This was after the injuries and everything, recovery and stuff. So, like, I'm doing good. And then, like, a week before, like, they started signing players, like, a week before they started playing, the coach that left. And this coach, mind you, he coached me before. When I used to play semi-pro, he was my coach. So I know him personally. That had that personal thing. So he had a job to a different place, so he left. So then they brought this German coach. And when he came, bro, I already know it was clap for me. So, like, practice, like, preseason, there be a lot of players. There's players that's already signed on a roster, and there's also players that's trying out. And I was one of those players. So as the preseason was going on, I was like, when we used to play scrimmage, I used to be one of, like, the first line of picks, like, when we playing each other. So when he came, I went back three spot.
Oh, no.
I wasn't even getting in anymore. I wasn't, you know what I'm saying? So, like, his focus wasn't there on me. Yeah. So then, like, they used to do preseason here for a week in Philly, like, and then they'll go to Florida for another week. So then, the week before they went to Florida, they coached. So it will usually be, there are people that take care of the coaches, only care about, like, coaching players. Yeah. So there are people that take care of everything, signing, like, players and stuff like that. So coach himself, like, called me, say, I'm sorry, we're not gonna take you. We're not gonna bring you to the second side of preseason. So that was my first no. Yeah. So then, like, I built a lot of good relationships. So one of my coach in the academy, he actually a coach of a Division I school now, Penn State. So then he found me another opportunity. That's when I was in Memphis, when we was in Clubhouse at that time. So I went to Memphis for another tryout. And that was another no. So at this point, like, I'm home, like, I'm staying with my mom, like.
And how did that feel?
That, to me, I'm not gonna lie, if I didn't meet Conde around that time, that probably would have been, like, I don't know what my life would have been, like, I probably would have, you know what I'm saying, like, so then that's around the time when, like, Conde was there. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, bro, like, when I used to talk to her, she would, like, the stuff that she would say to me, it put me at ease so much. It's like, like, even after that, I could have went to, Europe and played, like, a lower division there, kind of find my way. Yeah. But then, like, I'm not gonna say my goal changed, but it kind of, like, shifted a little bit. Yeah. So now meeting her, it's like, now I kind of, like, switch it around a little bit, like, focus on other stuff than it was, like, because, so then that was that.
So soccer was that was your dream. Yeah. That was the main thing for you. That was the end all be all, right? This is what I'm destined for. This is my purpose. Also you wanted your grandfather to also see you, accomplish those goals. You playing on the biggest stage or possibly playing for your country. Because I know how much you love soccer. Yeah. So it's like that's a pivotal moment, right? Everything that you just talked about. It's amazing because, like, you have to, like, talk about these experiences or things that you go through, right? Because there's a kid, somebody's out there, or a kid that can relate to the same story. Yeah. But the part that I love about it so much is, like, you don't have, sometimes you think like you don't have one purpose in life.
Yeah.
It can be multitude of purpose. You can have a main purpose.
That's a
you
fact.
can have a sub-product of that purpose. It can be a whole bunch of things that goes into that, right? So like you have to understand self-reflection. We talk about that a lot. It's very, very important.
Yep.
You have to reflect. You have to understand. Sometimes you can't be naive. You can't be, I don't want to say, for lack of better word, like stupid, to know that, okay, I see things are not working out. I have to understand that, okay, maybe this is not my full purpose. I went through the journey maybe to lead me to somewhere else. Maybe your son is the one that's supposed to be the next one. Maybe it might be his son.
That's
right?
one thing, bro, that kind of used to tell me all the time. It's like, maybe your son will be able to live your dream, and that will make you proud.
Exactly.
Ooh, I just got chills.
So to land my point, right?
Yeah.
It's like, and like our mothers, and they always say this, right? Like a man is a man, but a man is not a true man without his significant other, which is your wife, your woman, right?
Yeah, facts.
The person that's gonna be a good mother to your kid. So like, Connie probably didn't even understand what she was doing at the time.
Yeah.
Right. But the fact that you guys bonded, you guys had a chemistry, and she loved you and you loved her, because I know at some point okay, she's the one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you said nothing but good things about Connie. We don't talk way before the marriage, right?
Yeah.
You used to talk about her all the time, right? And you used to talk about how beautiful she is, how smart she is, loyal, everything, all of those, and all bundled up together, and the fact that she was there for you at that moment, because sometimes even your friends, even your mothers, your mom or your aunties, they're not gonna be able to understand it, right? Sometimes take that one person, and that one person was who? Your wife today, So that's very, very important. So the person that you plan on spending your life with, for the spending your time with for the rest of your life, are like they're very, very important. They can either be bad or they can be good. And
They
if they're
can
good,
be good. That's a fact.
you're out of here.
That's
right?
a fact.
So
Yeah. And I think that like just that story in general is amazing, because you were, you had the determination, right? And you put in the work all those different years. You had the network, you had the people behind you. Like you were saying that there's also like some of a fear, or part of your motivation was also, I want to make these people happy. These people aren't my family, but they became my family because of these other, you had the lady that was very important to you, right? And you guys, not only was she not of African origin, but not even the same race, right? And the same anything, but she saw that you were special, and like she cared. And so it's amazing. Like I think that story is amazing because you had that strong determination. You did all of what you could do, right? You build those relationships and still have those relationships till today, right? And you got so close to what you believed that purpose was, and life happens, right?
Yeah.
Things happen.
Yeah.
And to what you just said, like we may think that, okay, I came out of school like, oh, I want to be a partner in a public accounting firm. That's what I want to do. That's where I see myself, and then you go through things and things change. You feel different. You like, it's almost like a thump, and like people, I feel like it's important to also like, look within and then recognize, okay, let me take a couple steps back, and what is my new goal? What is my new purpose, my new determination? And it's okay for things to change in this life. Everything does not have to be linear in just one way.
Right.
How many people do we know that have had several careers throughout their lives? They've been so many different things.
Yeah.
I think I read like Michelle Obama's book, where I think in that she mentioned, I don't know if it was either about her husband or herself, but like I think it was her talking just even about herself, in the sense of she's done so many different things, and still at her age, right?
Yeah.
And she has so much more life left.
Right.
So life, like I feel like, anyone who feels like, oh my goodness, I'm stuck and this is kind of my only path that I know that you can become so many different things, and you can accomplish so many different things in life.
Yeah.
Like, and I love the fact that like at the face of adversity, you were able to then fall back on, all right, what field did I specialize in school, right? Let me brush off my my resume. Let me brush off my diploma and see where I can kind of get in and gain some experience. Right. You're able to make it into like a really great career at a bank, and then now you even there you were able to pivot and like determine like, oh, okay, I don't like this department, but I love this department, right? So I love at the face of adversity, you were able to just stay determined. And then also like what I 1,000% agree at what Dauda says, like the people that you surrounded yourself with, it's not by accident that, at that time in your life you encountered and you met. That's when you really got closer to him, right? That on the platform. That's when you met all of us on the platform, and then you met Connie before then, and so like it's I don't know, it's just amazing to me, and I applaud it 100%. I think growth happens at time of adversities. If you're not going through any challenges, you're not growing.
And the thing is, like, we lose sight of like how much we've grown so far, like since.
Bruh.
So I tell Dauda all the time, like. Everything to me, like everything came like it was like a puzzle.
It's like a 180.
Everything came together.
Yeah.
Right. It's like pandemic happened. It's like, and then we started like getting closer on the app. Like we would stay on there all night, like talking. And then even we get on like FaceTime calls, like we talk about like different stuff what we want to do. And then to see us now, like right now, it's
this
a
is
lot.
crazy.
And I be telling, I'm like, well, there's a lot that we gotta be grateful for.
Came a long way.
Yeah.
From like in the span of 2 years, like all of us got married, and then like a lot of other stuff that is there, like you know what I'm saying, that we can be really grateful for, and it's like it's beautiful to see us grow. And we have a long way to go, and then inshallah we're gonna get there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
sure, and now like 3 years, right? Because like early 2021, right? So like, and because his birthday wasn't all the way until September, but he before even that y'all we planned a trip to go to there in September, right? Y'all had an Airbnb together, so it was like in the beginning of that year, basically end of 2020ish. And so it's amazing. I think like the growth, if you're faced with adversity, like really try to like lean into the people that are around you, see if they're. And also, not even lean into the people. I guess, let me take that back. Before leaning into the people that are around you, take inventory of the people that are around you.
Facts.
Make sure that the people around you are pouring into you, right?
Right.
And that they're able to, like, be there and encourage you and things like that. And it's not a requirement, but that they love to make their friends or other people feel comfortable and like see their value and can communicate what that value is to the people, because we don't always feel our value, right? So sometimes it takes a little bit reminding, and so take inventory of the people around you. Make sure you have a good support system, and then lean into that. Allow them to pour into you, and then you could take a couple minutes, a little bit, being at your time of adversity, because things hurt, but then being able to just turn it around and make things make sense.
Right.
Before we go any further, right? So I want can you share any special moment like between you and Connie, like what, like it can be when you guys first met or at some point, like a special moment just for Connie.
Yeah, so like, all right.
You just put him on the spot.
Special moment.
It can be a funny one. It can something that you like something that you remember, like something that stood out to you.
Every day.
All right, I have one. So okay, so when we met, right, and then we started like following each other like on these social media or whatever. So one day like we follow each other on Facebook. So I was telling you, so my mom best friend, the guy that she went to school with in Zerikre, right? That's Connie's uncle, right?
Oh wow.
So then right, and like I talk to this guy a lot, like, because, I play soccer, and he always used to tell me, like, I want you to come to Europe. Like, I'm going to find you a team here so you can play. So then one day, me and Kanye on Facebook going through, like, each other's stuff. And then we both said at the same time, like, and like, the crazy thing is we both call him the same way. Wow. And then we was like, so we looked at each other, like, I'm like, how you know Tonton Delegate? And she said it at the same time. Yeah. And then she was like, we said it at the same time. And we call him just like that. She called her like that, and I call him like that, right? So then she was like, that's my mom, brother.
What?
And I was like, hold on. I'm like, we got to find out. I got to know how you related to my mom. At that time, I didn't know. So I'm like, man, we might be cousins. So I'm like, we might be cousins. So then I call my mom. I'm like, how you know Tonton Delike? So my mom tell me that's my friend. We went to school together, but he left a long time. So I was like, oh, that's kind of like
small
uncle
world.
It's crazy. And then like there's another story. Like Connie's like grandmother, like her grandmother was like really good friend with my grandmother. Like my grandmother, she would tell me that my grandmother used to teach her how to cook and stuff like that. So this was before she got married, right?
Yeah.
So then I be on the phone. She be telling me a story about my grandmother that I never heard before. She was like, "Yeah, my grandma's your grandmother." Like,
oh my God,
it's crazy.
That sense of like familiarity is like so amazing.
So what about the first time you guys met? Because sometimes
right. So the first time I'll never forget. So the first time, right? The first time we met in person, this was like couple of weeks before, like after we met. So I came to New York. This was a pandemic. Like we had a date. So I came to New York, and so I'm picking her up.
They having dates during the pandemic. Oh no.
Yeah, we were.
Were you guys wearing masks?
They were social distancing.
I don't know. Yeah, that's what blurry. So then I came and pick her up, like, and then so she's like, there's a video. So her sister was upstairs recording, right?
Wow.
So yeah, I'll show you the video. So she came like. I'm right here, and then like she come into the thing. Her sister recorded, it's like, oh, like can you go on this stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? So that she give me a hug, but I forgot to open the door for her, so I just got in the car.
Wow.
So like so
then
we went to eat. Yeah. And then, bro, the food was terrible. Like it was our first day. I'm not gonna lie, it was a bad experience. Then we got pulled over.
Wow.
You got pulled over. Were you speeding?
In New York, bro. No, I wasn't speeding. Because, bro, New York, you can't see the white line. I'm driving in 2-lane.
You're embarrassed.
The guy pulled me over.
Nah, you can't
and then
see the white line.
The guy was like, oh, like, you got a couple of drinks tonight? I said, I'm Muslim. I don't drink.
Yeah.
So he was like, just be careful, like, drive on one line.
You didn't get no ticket, though.
I didn't get no ticket.
You a terrible driver.
Crazy.
Maybe I was nervous, you know what I'm saying?
He was, no, that's why he can't see the white line. It's not because it's New York City. It's because.
Had you nervous?
Yes.
Yeah, so then that was that.
But yeah, that's amazing. Okay, so I want to definitely talk about the unveiling moment, right? What is one turning point, or you could say two, a turning point that for you that changed your whole direction, and it can be like a person, it can be an experience, it can be a book you read, it can be a podcast you listen to. Essentially, think about it as, here's a plane, right? The plane is going, there are two planes, and they're going to the same destination, right? So what I'm asking is, depending on the degree, like even if it's just a little bit of a degree change, it can completely change the trajectory of the destination for one of the planes, right? In comparison to where it would ultimately go. So what was that? What changed that degree for you, that impact?
The turning point?
Yes. What was that?
It
could be two. You can give me two.
So I would say the turning point is the first one, coming to America, right? It's like adapting to, like, also this is my, like, what's the unveil law. This will be my unveil law.
Ooh, okay.
My unveil law would be adaptation, like. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything was that.
We'll get into that, yeah.
Everything was that. So, like, the first thing is coming to America and adapting the cultures and stuff like that.
Yep.
And then the bigger one, I'll always, like, reiterate this. Like, the bigger one is meeting Connie. Like, that's my biggest turning point. Like I became, like, meeting Connie, like, I became more, like, family-oriented.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot because, my family, they always, like, to me, I'm not, like, I don't always call people. Like,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? By, like, meeting Connie, actually, like, I started having, like, more relationship with a lot of my, like, female cousins because, they be on the phone with Connie. It's like, pass me the phone, I talk and stuff like that. That's one thing that my family was always on me. Like, like, you're not, like, family oriented, but I'll always have an excuse, like, I'm playing soccer, I'm always traveling and stuff like that. But, like, and also, like, helped me to be closer to God, like, meeting her. Like, obviously, in the beginning, like, when I moved to my cousin, like, my cousin was the first one that started forcing me to, like, pray and do stuff like that. But then meeting Connie is, like, everything increased. Like, my iman increased, like, my, like, family orientation increased, and, like, knowledge of like of our culture. You know how we always talk about this. Kind of made me like, bro, like I know a lot about Gina because of her. It's like the music, like Conakry Nouvelle. We watch that every day.
Yeah, no, that is amazing. That's dope.
That was my biggest like turning point.
Yeah,
for sure.
that's dope. I think okay, so let's get into the veil unveil or the unveiled law, right? And then we can get into veil unveiled quiz for him.
Let's do the law
and then
first.
wrap it up. Yeah.
So what?
All right. So he said around adaptability.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get some words out. Despite adversities.
Yeah. Or how do you also pull like having stuff in common? Cause like, bro, we talk like it looked like we came on the same time. Yeah. From like the same backgrounds, for sure. Like adapting to the culture, it's the same way. Like having like the same anxiety, like you know what I'm saying? Like
having a lot in common, but like
but how to put it in like words and like.
So we have and also we also mentioned your turning point, which was the love for your significant other.
Yeah.
So how do we merge those two together? There's adversity, and then he also found love. Right.
Yeah.
So, and also his purpose. So
okay, so adapting, adversity,
love, and purpose.
Finding love and purpose.
Yeah.
Okay, in the face of adversity, in the face of adversity, try to discover your purpose by adapting to challenges. Source of love, right? Source of love, because it can be from friends, it can be from, remember how we talked about at a low moment, take inventory of your relationships. So love, like it can be romantic, it can be family, it can be friends. So in the face of adversity, seek your purpose through adapting to challenges and finding and sourcing love.
Yeah.
Or finding sources of love.
Through adversity, one can find his purpose through love.
Through adversity, one can find its
purpose through love.
One can find his or her purpose through love.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you find your purpose through love?
For sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, we both,
perfect.
We're both an example.
We're
an example of that.
Yeah. For sure.
Stop.
I was talking about my mama. Love you, mama.
Weak.
Okay. Okay. So the law for today. Say it again.
I said through adversity, one can find a purpose through love.
City.
Or his or her
one can find his or her purpose through love.
Right. And then, once we put the unveiled law, then we can put Mo and Kenny.
But that's dope. I like that.
That was good.
Okay, so the next session. So we're gonna do this last piece. We always do this. It's veiled and unveiled session. So
do you have it? I have the name and.
Okay.
If you got something?
No, I don't have anything. So I was just explaining to him what it is. So he's gonna shoot out like.
So do you understand the game?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
So let's I'm gonna give you names and whatever social construct or whatever. So 21 Savage, veiled or unveiled?
Veil. Cap. I mean cap.
Why? Give me one reason why you think
bro, cause he a cheater.
But you gotta elaborate. Like, what do you mean?
So
he was playing cards and
he's playing cards. He's messing up the cards. So
he can.
So in his favor, so he can win. So he's definitely veiled.
Okay. Okay. So on the other hand, Aiden Ross, veiled or unveiled?
Aiden Ross.
Was that the other guy he was playing cards with?
Yeah. Veiled or unveiled?
I don't know anything much about him.
Unveiled.
Why? Because even though he knew he was cheating, right? He didn't want to embarrass.
He didn't embarrass him on camera.
So definitely unveiled. Yeah.
Right. So okay.
Only through that.
And plus, even after he knew he was cheating, he still like
held on to what he.
Yeah, what he said. He promised. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So we gonna change it up a little bit. We got, Club Shay Shay. Shannon Sharp, the man of the hour.
Club Shay Shay.
Yes.
Can it be both?
You gotta pick one. Veiled or unveiled? Which one are you leaning more towards?
Veiled.
Veiled? You think Shannon Sharp is veiled?
Yeah,
I want to hear this.
You think so?
Yeah, eater.
Nah.
Say no, I'm playing. No, unveil for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say
unveil. Cause I was telling you, bro.
Yeah.
Shannon Sharp, he became more famous after his playing time.
Yeah.
It's like he's
Very
like that. He's
charismatic,
like
yeah.
So he definitely
very
unveil.
funny, entertaining. I like him. That's Uncle Shay. Yeah, Uncle definitely. Yeah. So okay, Guinea current state.
Current state of Guinea.
Yeah.
Val.
Why you say that?
Val because bro, we don't have internet. Bro, president or acting president.
Yeah.
Fucking shit up.
So
bro.
you say no internet, and you say that
the country is hard because that's why a lot of people are leaving.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it definitely Val, and I don't know how longer, like
Yeah. Nah, I get it.
Yeah, so definitely Val.
That lady, are you still in contact with that lady that helped you in high school? Middle school?
Like deep, yes.
Oh,
like,
that's
bro,
amazing.
when I tell you, like, she brought me around her kids. Because she had kids around my age. It's like,
Yeah. You should introduce her to baby.
No, I am. Yeah, when we go back to Philly, we're gonna go see her. She's still there in Philly. Yeah, she's still there.
Okay. Family.
Family?
In general.
Family in general. Unveil.
Unveil.
Why I say that? Because, bro, family is family, no matter what. Like, ups or down. But family definitely unveil because family teach you a lot of like
lessons,
life lessons.
Even if it's good or bad, you'll learn.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
You know. Okay. For the last one to wrap it up, the current state of Fulani and Maninka community.
Vel, because the Afghan, we everybody like Guinea right now. So
you say veiled or unveiled?
Unveiled, yeah. That means everyone got together to root for the country.
Yeah.
I mean that's a
when it's
yeah, that's reoccurring.
When it's against the outside, we're together. But then when it's focusing on inside, what do you think?
Inside is definitely veil.
Okay.
It's definitely
so
veil.
Is it still veil there, or because based on my experience on like the ones that I talk to here in our little like family
those are not
group,
the ones back home.
So I even tell our Fulani friends, like, I don't think we will ever be unveiled as a country, like, of the history is too deep. Like it will always be veiled.
Or maybe it'll just take a couple decades, more decades.
Unless the country is like, unless we like on like one righteous like path, like, and like the struggles is a little bit less. The struggle is a little bit less, but like it will always be veiled.
I think it needs more of like the ones like our little Guinean Lounge family here is very mixed and stuff like that, and everyone gets along. And so like I feel like it would be amazing if like just a representation of that, right? Like those people become the adults, the older adults and the elders.
Yeah, one day it could definitely be unveiled because, for example, Guinean Lounge, it was veiled before it became unveiled because we was on our side before and they was on their side, and then we came together.
Yep.
So we always have a potential to be unveiled.
Yeah.
One thing I would definitely say though that history is very important, but like one thing about our history between the problem between the Fulani and Maninka, we never came to a conclusion, at least to my knowledge, to understand what really happened and what went wrong. Everybody gonna give their
got their story,
biased opinion, right? That's a fact. But the unbiased truth, nobody knows, right? And then when you do ask your parents, or like what happened, what started it, themselves don't know, right?
Yeah, even if they know, it's just part of a truth. It's not the full truth.
So I would say like we can understand our past.
Yeah.
In that from that aspect, but we have to learn how to move forward together.
Yeah.
As a collective, right? So I do say that, and so I believe there's
potential.
Yeah. But I believe the ones here are unveiled.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Yeah. Well, I think does that wrap it up? You have any more questions for Mo? Thank you so much for joining us. We are so happy.
We've been waiting for
Conde needs to come on as well.
Oh my God.
We want to learn all about motherhood and everything that's going on and whatnot.
Come here. I'm sitting over there. 'Cause this is going to turn into a mama yacht. Right? So,
we definitely.
I've been to stories and songs. I might have to. I will have to do that. But yeah,
that's amazing.
That was a great show. So I'm glad. Mo, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
And,
make sure we're gonna put his contact information down below if you guys have any questions as it relates to just if you're a young man going through the kind of a similar experience and whatnot. Like we're hoping that this story touched you, and was very like enlightening. It was enlightening definitely for myself, and I would say for you as well. But
it was.
But yeah, no, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you guys subscribe to everything. Everything is down below in the description box. Make sure you like, comment, share. Check us out on Instagram, and we are out.
An Apple Podcast, and also check out the previous
episode.
They're fire. I'm telling you, we got more bangers coming. Stay tuned.
It's like Numi got the Uzi, man, she always speaking facts. She be dropping bombs, make all of them double back. Then the crime raises. It's something they never gonna get that, but it's cool.